A breakthrough in diabetes and weight management, Mounjaro by Eli Lilly is now in India. But how does it work? How much does it cost? And what is the competition? Let's break it all down. Let's start by what is Mounjaro. Now, Mounjaro is an injectable drug for type 2 diabetes and chronic weight management. It is India's first treatment of its kind, marking a significant milestone in the healthcare industry. Now, Eli Lilly does have a first-mover advantage. The GLP-1 drugs market is expanding fast and it's projected to hit $100 billion, that is globally, by 2030.
Last year was an important year because prior to last year, I think the question was, does tirzepatide or Mounjaro not just lower your weight, but affect these conditions triggered by obesity? And we had 4 important data readouts. One in a form of congestive heart failure, sleep apnea, which is the people who wake up and snore aggressively, but it's a serious health condition, diabetes prevention study in that area, and then an earlier study in fatty liver disease. So we're building the clinical evidence. These are not indicated in India, it's important to mention that, but there's scientific studies that have been published and we'll pursue the regulatory pathway for.
How does it work now? What is the main function of this drug? It lowers blood sugar and boosts insulin secretion. Also, it slows gastric emptying, which is making you feel full for a longer period of time. So reduces your hunger, which leads to significant weight loss. Now, in trials, it is seen that patients have lost up to 21.8 kgs also because of this injectable.
But when people have gained a lot of weight, that's too difficult. And science shows that for most people, not successful. So here's another way to really restore long-term health, to affect conditions like diabetes that already manifest from obesity. And there'll be more medicines coming too. So I think we'll look back and say this was a moment of change in terms of the stigma of obesity.
Let's talk about what is the pricing now in India versus the global peers, and globally how much does it cost, even when you compare it with Eli Lilly. When you look at it, in India, the pricing is rupees 3,500 rupees. This is for a 2.5 mg vial. For the 5 mg vial, it's 4,375 rupees. Now, this is a weekly dose that you have to take. So what is the monthly cost, or what is the monthly spending that you may have for this, right? 14,000 rupees to 17,500 rupees is the pricing. Okay, for you it does seem premium, right? But first, let's compare it to the global front. Now, in the US, Mounjaro costs 86,315 rupees per month. So when you look at it versus the globe, India does seem like a cheaper version, an affordable version. Now, why do you say it's cheaper in India? Why that competitive pricing strategy? Now, what the company wants to focus on is aimed at expanding the access to this innovative treatment in the country. Now, let's talk about competition that could see a big shift in 2026. And why is that so? Semaglutide, Ozempic, haven't you heard that drug's name, right? That goes off patent in 2026. So what does it mean? Generic players would be making these drugs. A lot of Indian pharmaceutical companies and giants like Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Sun Pharma will launch the generic versions of Ozempic or semaglutide as we know it. Now, this could lead to a massive drop in prices. Analysts are predicting generic semaglutide could be priced 95% lower than Mounjaro. What is the impact of this on the market? This could drastically increase GLP-1 drugs adoption in India, and that is what companies want as well. Now, let's talk about the market potential. Why is India a huge opportunity? There are around 101 million people in India who have diabetes. The demand for effective diabetes and weight loss drug in the country is at an all-time high. Obesity is seeing an increase as well. And that is what Eli Lilly is keeping an eye out on and a close watch on in terms of India's potential for Mounjaro. CEO David Ricks has hinted at a possibility of this as well in terms of an opportunity that we could see coming in terms of the increase, and the market potential for this drug in India is huge.
We're expanding our global footprint. There's a lot of discussion in the air about localizing or regionalizing supply chains. And as India could become an important market for us, it's a smaller market for us now, but Mounjaro may well change that. Open-minded about possibilities here.
With India's huge market potential, could Mounjaro change the game for diabetes and weight loss treatment? Leave your thoughts and comments below on what you think about this injectable.
Thank you for watching CNBC TV18. For all our top stories and news updates, follow us on our social media platforms.